So hey friends, it is dark mode Joe. It is like 8:15 at night and we have a keynote at Basel Switzerland's health.tech in only 16 days and I'm anxious and freaking out and it's all good and normal in the process and I want to share something with you that I've never experienced before even though I've done a couple TED Talks for my keynote. This is the app for health.tech, which is awesome because I can connect with people ahead of time and send DMs and like pre-network for the session, which is awesome. But if I go to agenda and I can see on Wednesday the 4th, and I go over to the innovation or the insights stage and scroll down, innovation from the margins at 245 to 315. This is the first time I've ever been on the agenda of a like convention app before. And what's even cooler, it's cool because it says former Johnson Johnson Ottawa, is if I go over on the same day earlier, we scooch over to workshop room 2. Nope, I got lost. We're going to get to the point of today's session. There it is. Workshop room 2, hitting zero, embracing the art of public failure. RSV required. And I already have attendees like Sarabev Karapitin. He's a CEO. This one was the biggest surprise because I just interviewed Santosh Iyer for Sunday Sips podcast from Zimmer Biomed. So I'm excited to reach out to Christian ahead of time and connect with him. And I could just like message him and say like, oh my gosh, this is crazy, and suggest a meeting. But this is just beautiful. Like all these folks are already connecting ahead of time and going to attend the session. I'm sure there's going to be more, but you could join, which would be really cool. But what I want to talk about today as I prep for this keynote in 16 days now, which is just so humbling. It was something I was kind of speaking over myself. We went to my grandparents in laws. And when we hit zero in Tokyo after 7 months of all in entrepreneurship, I had a really messy exit from Johnson Johnson, 12 relocations in 1 year with 3 kids to get to Japan on behalf of J&J and taking a shot on our own life out there when my job was impacted. And when we hit zero, we had the grace of a soft landing with our in-laws. We co-lived in a 4-generation home. 1 second. All right, my kids just dropped by, but I'm going to finish this so I can get like 3.5 hours of sleep and go work third shift at Amazon. So anyway, we're at our in-laws. We had a soft landing with them living in a 4-generation home with my father-in-law, my grandmother-in-law, my grandfather-in-law, who was battling kidney failure. And we co-lived for just under a year with them to get back on our feet. We pulled our full 401k to give us some runway and buy the Honda Odyssey, which has kept our family moving for the last year or so. And then I worked third shift at Amazon to get cash flow, started landing stealth mode clients, doubled, tripled down on my ventures. But today I went there. It was my father-in-law's birthday, and we got him some pizza. This is going to get to the point of the keynote, and particularly this workshop of hitting zero. And hopefully I get to meet all these fun people in. There were moments where I felt, I felt so torn between applying to jobs, global leadership jobs at Baxter, Avi, Medline, like a lot of the big medtech areas in Chicago. I felt torn between that, continuing to build my own business at risk because we had pulled all of our savings and we had taken on so many loans and we were co-living. And at the same time, caring for my grandfather who was battling kidney failure. He was falling frequently. He was on dialysis. He had just had that procedure. And there were moments where I just felt really stuck between the messy middle of these three things. I hadn't launched the Sunday Sips podcast, which has been incredible for connecting me within medtech and for me to find my own voice. I had not found this authenticity to bring my failures into digital spaces authentically. I keep hearing noises. My kids need to go to bed. I had not found my voice. I was still masking. And there was just something so beautiful and precious about seeing my grandfather-in-law today, because for the last year and 4 months that we've lived in Chicago, a year with them, 4 months on our own, which has been beautiful. I've continued to see my grandfather decline. He's got multiple comorbidities. A couple days ago, he fell and brought the TV down on top of him, and it like shattered on his head. So just lots of challenges, lots of hospital visits in the future. And for someone working in progressing healthcare technology, I just have such deep empathy for what he's navigating, what the family's navigating, what my grandmother-in-law is navigating as her husband is not who he was from a cognition perspective and from a physical perspective. And I'm so grateful that we hit zero in Japan because it put us on a fast track to have proximity with family. And I never imagined myself in a position of caretaker for him. Yet it's so beautiful because my wife grew up raised by her grandparents and her father in that same home. And 30 something years later, we live 5 minutes away and I get to go and serve them. And because I took risks on entrepreneurship, I'm still progressing global innovation and being proximal to clinicians, but I'm rooted in Chicago I think it's honorable to stay here till whatever that end looks like. Even though I know here I'm going to attract a network with all kinds of wonderful folks that could have opportunities in Europe and in Japan, to have the discretion to wait is really interesting. So, for all of you, and kind of from my speaker note and the anxiety that I shared earlier, one of the things that was super validating was that these 10 people, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, these 9 folks looked at all of these wonderful sessions that exist, the $200 billion blind spot that endometriosis can't solve. And they decided, you know what? This would be interesting and valuable. And it's helpful for me because it just means I have to show up and bring excellence for the 10 people in the room or the 100 people in the room or whatever that looks like. It's the same with my keynote. I have no idea. I'm not on the therapeutic stage or the horizon stage. I'm on the insight stage. And there's going to be multiple talks in parallel. There's me, and then there's bridging the gap and digital innovation, becoming healthier, more obsessed. Interesting. And it's not a competition. Everybody's out here to just share the best stories they have and their best experiences and inspire the folks that they get to steward for that hour or so. And for me, it's 30 minutes on stage. So it kind of helped me take the edge off of if I go and look at all the speakers, I started scrolling. I was like, oh my God. I mean, you got Anthony Fauci. It's I don't have to be Fauci. Go out there and be Joe. Share my story to the folks that are there and trust that it'll be everything it needs to be. And eventually you get to my smiling face. So it's been a weird journey, friends. Every day 4 days a week, I wake up at 12:15 in the morning and I drive an hour and I go and connect with members of my entrepreneurial team because I've headhunted 5 A players from Amazon and we're building stuff on the side. And I could tell that I'm going to lift off from that place in the nearest future. And I continue to monetize my podcast and close clients with that and continue to do stealth mode consulting. And I interviewed for Johnson & Johnson and Moon Surgical, which was wild to see what can come from that. So even though I might not feel perfectly rehearsed, and I definitely don't have the full keynote written as I would prefer, and I got more pots in the stove than I can imagine, I'm just trying to speak over myself that I'm enough and that I know this talk. I've been practicing it since 116 days out. And once I'm in a live room with live people, I'm going to improvise through it anyway, because that's the gifting I have. And it's going to be deeply meaningful for folks. And the work that I've put in will be evident and it'll leave the right mark. And this is not going to be the best keynote I've ever done, because it's not going to be the last keynote I ever do. But hey, friends, it's 8:27, which means I can get approximately 3 hours and 43 minutes of sleep. And then I'm going to go drive and not die and push boxes and then edit a podcast for Santosh Ayer. But if you'd like to connect in person and you're based out in Europe, I have an affiliate link. I'll connect to this. It'd be amazing. It helps my business, which is cool. And I'd love to meet you and just hear more about your story and see where there's opportunities to connect and progress global healing together. And if not you, if you know somebody else who you think should really be out here, like forward the link along. It would be pretty epic if I get. This is just for my own business. I don't know if I'll make it or not, but if I get 5 people to go, and it's the right fit for them, like I get a 5K payout, which would be awesome, just based on the affiliate deal I signed. But if we don't hit it, like it's still an incredible talk to be able to curate this for folks. I've been putting out content every week that I can, and I'm excited to see who I actually meet in person out here, whether it's folks on the ground or folks that come through my link, which will be cool too. But yeah, keep changing the world. I gotta get some sleep. Appreciate y'all, and I'll see you tomorrow.